All right, then we are live. Welcome back to day 4 of the 4 test match. Apologies for being very late. In fact, we're 15 minutes, 10 minutes late.
Apologies, lads.
Yeah, we had few technical issues, but here we are. And hi to a lot of you guys. It's a Saturday afternoon. It's a Saturday afternoon to hopefully rejoice with some test cricket. Hopefully, with India doing sort of well.
Yeah, I think your voice tapering off was a great spectacle or a great example as to how things are.
But hi Viking, hi Adish, hi Ritesh, hi Lokesh. Neural hacks with Vasant. What a name.
Yeah, nice.
Manvendra Chaudhary.
What's up?
Again, a beautiful name. Srikanth, yo.
What's
It's
up?
great to see a lot of you guys. I like how you guys are also acknowledging each other, which is great.
Oh,
Which
that's
is
lovely, bro. It's just three. Hi, Adish. Hi, Shrikant. Hi, Ritesh.
yeah,
Nice.
it's so sweet. All right, so of course we like always we have a lot of things to talk about. We have
Mm.
the things what India needs to do, what things to watch out for. We have a very interesting technical tidbit. We have
Yeah.
very few stats today.
Yeah.
And then we'll address the chat and talk to the chat. Hi Umang, hi Orange Juice, Bala, hi. Bro, talk about Sai. We shall. Rohan, hi, I'm new. Love your content. I appreciate that a lot. A
Hey,
lot.
man.
Ride and Rev. Hey, been watching since a long time but couldn't comment because I use YouTube and browser. Today I got a chance.
Oh,
Great.
nice.
Himanshu. A lot of new names. Rahul. It's always great to see you guys here. If you guys are joining us for the first time, hit that like button. It'll push the stream to a lot more people while we are on the live, which means the amount of people tuning in will increase. A lot of you guys will be able to talk to a lot more people, and a lot more people will be able to talk to us, and vice versa. So it will be great. It's something we are trying to work on. We're trying to improve our lives and make that better. So hopefully you guys know it's not something we're like this is not the format we only want to stick with. If only bowlers, if only bowled with spinners earlier. Damn.
Yeah, there are things that we have to get into. Yesterday was a horrible day.
True.
But yeah, today's a new day. There's a new opportunity. And hopefully, India do not fold out today itself,
Yeah.
lose the series.
The conditions, of course, it was raining overnight. I won't be surprised if England declare overnight, but we'll find out.
Interesting.
Let's go and talk about the pitch. I was going to say scorecard.
All right. So, interestingly, I was watching a piece from David Lloyd, and he was talking about how historically Manchester, the pitch doesn't change too much throughout the 5 days. Of course, there will be the general deterioration. We've also seen it from the James Anderson end, where the ball is keeping slightly low in parts. But apart from that, I think still a decent day. What is important to note is that the overhead conditions are completely different from yesterday. It's been raining non-stop in Manchester. In fact, there is rain till about 1 p.m. local time. At least that's what Manchester's meteorological department says. The struggle to get that word out, meteorological. But yeah, so keeping that in mind and knowing the fact that England overnight were 544 for 7, they're 186 runs ahead. It will be interesting to see if they declared overnight or if they will be batting for a bit today, declare, which means that India will have tough conditions to bat. It's going to be overcast. There will be swing on offer once again. And the pitch is also definitely not getting better to bat on. So these things are to keep in mind. India is going to have a very tough time when they come out to bat.
All right, so that is the pitch. Let's talk about Wits against the Brits, and that's what the Indian team needs to do today. All right, so Ben Stokes is batting on 77, not out. Liam Dawson is batting on 21. I sound like a parrot. I will be. I'm not going to say I'll be a little surprised. I won't be surprised if the English team declare even before taking on the field if they want a result, because with overcast conditions and with rain, especially with overcast conditions, the English bowlers would want to bowl to the Indian team under those conditions. And with a lead of about 186, then it just becomes understandable if they want to do it. But I won't be surprised too if they come out to bat, have a lead of about 200, 250, taking India out of the game completely and go on from there. But that's the English side of things. What do the Indian team need to do? They need to get them all out and all out as soon as possible. And I think I will be very, very surprised if they don't start off with a fast bowler and a spinner, or if they don't start off with Jasprit Bumrah and Jadeja, to be more precise. There are few bowlers who have been a letdown, in specifically, I think Anshul Kamboj, and I will be surprised if he's brought into the attack very, very early. I will want to see Jadeja, Washington Sundar, Siraj, and Bumrah being rotated for a bit. I think these four fast bowlers will be the key. Yes, unfortunately, because of the way we have, of the choices we have, I don't know if Shardul or Anshul will bowl a lot of overs. Anshul hasn't looked the part as of yet, unfortunately. But I will want to see Gill use these four bowlers quite well. They start off with a spinner and a fast bowler, something a lot of commentators were talking about how he should have done that yesterday. I think Siraj and Bumrah starting off was okay. But I think today, because of how yesterday folded, I think Jadeja and Bumrah should start off, be able to get those wickets. I mean, we still don't know how Ben Stokes is going to be. Of course, it was just a cramp, but a cramp can be very, very stiff the next day. Of course, they have high level of physios and all of that. So he, even if he's okay, I think Jadeja can use the rough, and I think the rough will be roughened up even today. So I think Jadeja needs to be a lot more accurate. He needs to slow it down a lot, slow it down. Not even slow it down, just vary space a lot more. But he needs to be accurate in terms of getting into that rough. And even Jasprit Bumrah, if he's going to start off, or if it's Siraj, whoever, whichever pace is starting off, hopefully it's one of those two. I think they will need to be very, very precise with their line and lengths, consistent, and get these guys out. Because Liam Dawson has a first class, he has more than 10,000 first class runs, so the man can bat. And of course, Stokes being there, he can bat too. And then we have Chris Wokes, and he can bat too. So, oh yeah, Wokes is out. I apologize. Right. So after Stokes, even Archer can swing the ball, bat. He can swing the ball also. But yeah, he swing the bat. So it will be very important to get these guys out if they are looking to bat for a very long time. And hopefully by lunch, or at least before lunch or right after lunch, India come on to bat. Unless it's raining, then after some time, whenever India come on to bat, I think they will need to stick to their game. A lot of fans might just become impatient because of the pace at which India are playing. I think India should continue to stick with their game. I think KL should bat the way he does. Jaiswal should bat the way he does. I don't think people should I don't think they should be overly attacking for the sake of being overly attacking. I don't know if they're looking for a draw or a victory. I don't know. I mean, no one knows what the state of play is going to be or the situation when India comes on to bat. But I still think they should stick to their game. And whenever India come on to bat, they should play the entire day out, losing minimal wickets. That's the hope. But I would hope at least one of the openers is there by the end of the day. So yeah, that's a couple of things. What India needs to do. Let's go to Finn to win.
In to win is your players to watch out for. I think Ashwin's already spoken about Jaddu and Bumrah possibly starting with when they come into ball today. But I also think that Washi should definitely be given a go, especially after what he's done yesterday, of what he's been able to extract from this pitch so far already. And the other thing is, if he's going to be drifting the ball and all of that, and if the conditions are overcast, might just help him out. So keeping that in mind, you will want to watch out for how Washi goes if he gets a go. I hope he gets a go soon. And in the fast bowlers, and obviously you have your Bumrahs and Siraj and all of that. But if Anshul Kamboj is given a go, I just want to see how his pace is, because he's been extremely slow. He's not this slow generally, and that's the general consensus also. So if he is bowling around 120s today as well, then that is a bit of a concern, and it might possibly be him just not being match ready or match fit. So those are some things to keep in mind, because you still have another test to go. Irrespective of how this test match ends, you can still look to win that final test match and salvage some kind of pride. So yeah.
All right, so that's been the Fin to win. Let's go to what's lit in Brit, and that's a couple of things to watch out for, of course. The first is conditions. When does it rain, or when does it stop raining if it rains the entire morning? The other thing is, yeah, from the Anderson end, how low the ball stays today, because yesterday it was staying quite low. Ollie Pope, Joe Root, they all struggled for a bit in the beginning with that end, especially Siraj with the new ball. It was staying quite low. I mean, dangerously low, in the sense that if it's to the stumps, there's no way the batter's saving their wicket.
Yeah, and here's the thing, right? With England 186 ahead, why will they want to bat again in the last innings? Like, might as well just get as many as they can and look to get India all out, possibly, and not bat again.
Yeah, that's fair. And then, yeah, the amount of spin and all of that. Just small things to watch out for.
Small things you would expect on day 4. Yeah.
I mean, also something to watch out for would be if Ben Stokes bowls as many overs. If I'm assuming it's just a cramp and he's absolutely fine today, but if he's stiff, it will be interesting to see if he gets a lot of overs in.
True. Yeah, but I feel like it's not something that the England player should be too worried about. And I'm sure that if it comes down to him having to eventually bowl,
he will.
You know him, he will bowl.
He just will have to bowl. All right, so let's go to quick wit and Brit. Just a couple of stats.
Just got a couple of stats, and in fact, a question for y'all. The first stat. So Joe Root reached his 38th Test 100 yesterday. He's only behind 3 people now in terms of number of Test centuries. So if y'all can name those people down in the comments, that'll be nice. and I'll tell you eventually. But yeah, so name them. The second one is 588 runs. This is the most between any batter bowler matchup, and that's what Joe Root has got against Ravindra Jadeja. This is the most ever in Test history, which is very surprising. And the next one is also a reason why that stat exists, is because Jaddu has got Joe Root out 9 times, which is the most he's got any batter out in his own Test career. So yeah,
All right, so that's been a couple of stats. There's a bit of a lag, so your answers will. Oh wow, Arvind already got that spot on. Sachin, Ricky, Ponting, and Callis. Arvind,
good stuff.
you did not waste time. You just joined the live, and you got a spot on. Manvendra Chaudhary, he is he's leveled with Kumar Sangakkara, so there are three ahead of him. But you're right, Kumar Sangakkara and Joe Root have the same amount of Test centuries. Look at you guys knowing your stats. We're always proud of that. And Sachin, of course, that's fine. All right, so let's go to the technical tidbit. First of all, we'll start off with this with Shubman Gill's sunglasses. On day 2, he had the sunglasses that you see on the left. On day 3, that was yesterday, he had the sunglasses on the right, which is what we have a theory on why he had a bad vision and did not see the bowlers that he had to use and did not use Washington Sundar and took a long while to use Sundar. It's because of the change of glasses. But to be more serious, it's about his captaincy, and his captaincy has come under the radar this test match, especially yesterday. And Nasir Hussain wrote a very interesting piece of how Shubman Gill's captaincy was already spoken about in the first test match. And in a 5 test match series, your captaincy really gets scrutinized because by the first in the first test match, right, you have a lot to think about anyways, but you're new, you're fresh, it's the first test match. By the time you come to the 4 test match, especially after a loss at Lords in the third, at one point you're just doing random things. At one point you have no idea what you're doing, and you're trying to see if anything works out because now you have a past. You've lost the third test match, you've lost the first test match, so you have few things you look back on and you try certain things that really don't make sense. And Shubman Gill has, of course, come under the radar. And a lot of people, frustratingly, on Reddit, and a lot of trolls and memes that are going about how if Rohit Sharma did the same thing, there'll be a lot of news articles about and a lot of us criticizing Rohit Sharma and how he's captaining and how he's a bad captain and all of that. Yeah, because Shubman Gill hasn't played for the last 10 years and hasn't. So Rohit Sharma, by the time he became the captain in 2019, not only had he played a lot of. Actually, he hadn't even played a lot of Test cricket, but not only had he played a lot of international cricket, he had an experience of more than what 12 years, yeah, 2007, 2006. Yeah. So it's completely unfair. And it's Shubman Gill's 4th test match. Saying that, he should be criticized. I completely agree. And so there are a couple of things that he will need to look out for. And when we talk about technique in terms of captaincy, it's very easy to sit back and watch the TV and say that Shubman Gill should have done this. Yes, he should be doing this, and the management should be helping him. Like Praatibh said yesterday, if he's going in, I think there needs to be things need to be communicated very very early. If Gambhir, Monemokal, Rant and Descarte and all of that can see things happen a certain way, I feel like it's so easy to communicate because anyways fielders go in every now and then. But when we talk about technique as a captain, it's about being able to think, being able to get out of your fixed plan, which is what Shubman Gill is struggling with. If you saw yesterday, it felt like he was almost stubborn and he wanted a set of plan to work when it was evidently not working. And he just kept waiting and waiting and waiting. And that is almost like a pattern that we have seen with Shubman Gill. Either he's waiting for a plan to work out or waiting for the second new ball. And he needs to learn to get out of that. He needs to learn how to break patterns. And that's something he can really learn from Ben Stokes. Ben Stokes is in the other extreme, who tries a lot of things. And more often than not, it does work out for him. But Gill needs to learn how to break out of patterns, break out of plans, and try different things just because you have to do it at that point. But yeah, just an interesting thing about how in 2 days he had 2 different glasses. And today you watch out for the kind of shade that he wears today. All right. So that's addressing the chits. Let's go to the chat.
Chat, I think the chat really enjoyed the comical bit there. Aswin shit posting on main. Yeah. State facts.
Lol, good way to humor. Didn't know you had it in your Ashwin. Yeah, I don't. I'm an old man. It's crazy that all the Twitter users are framing Bumrah's. Yeah, that is another thing. Panoti.
Oh.
That's another thing. What's your take on it? So we have seen averages.
Yeah.
Him against the top order, him against the tail. What's your take on Bumrah being a stat pad and not being able to? It's To be fair, last test match he got 5 for. The match before that where he played, he got a 5 for. He's getting wickets. He has an average of 24. You would take that against any bowler in any country. He has a test average of 19. So just shows how good of a player he is. But what's your take on
I
all the
think
criticism Bumrah is facing so far?
I think for anyone who is criticizing Bumrah, there is insane recency bias for starters. The other thing you can do is just simply go and look at the Border Gavaskar Trophy and the wickets he's taken there. That should mostly clear it out. I think he's got 17 wickets of top order batters there and like 6 wickets of the tail enders. So that should put it into perspective. That should be enough. I don't think it's an argument. Another discussion that we can have altogether separately is whether or not Bumrah's test career is looking bright from here on out because of the fact that he's just having niggles every time. So that's a completely different discussion. But he's not a Panathi, he's not a stat padder. He is easily one of India's, if not greatest ever fast bowler. So
Yeah. I think it's also the fact that people don't realize. So if you have one good bowler as a batting unit, your plan is to play him out. And so if you look at Bumrah, they don't really try attacking him. There are days like day before yesterday where he didn't find his line and length and struggled. He can have an off day. But if you have three bowlers and you know that out of the three, only one is dangerous, Siraj is manageable, and then you have Anshul Kamboj and Shardul Thakur, who I will consider three because they can't be three and four. And so as a batting unit, you'll just play out Jasprit Bumrah because what's the harm? And you're not giving him wickets. In fact, I'm going to talk about the Stuart
Stuart
McGill stuff
McGill,
again.
yeah.
Whenever Stuart McGill and Shane Warne played together, Stuart McGill had a lot more wickets than Shane Warne. Not only that, even in terms of averages, Stuart McGill had an average of 22, and I think Shane Warne had an average of 29 when they played together in the same team. This goes to show, and even Stuart McGill's talked about this, it just goes to show that they just play out Shane Warne, not give their wickets away, and then try attacking McGill, and he'll get those wickets. So it's almost the same thing.
Yeah.
By the way, if you guys don't know, Stuart McGill is also a leg spinner. And a lot
Same
of
era
people
as
say,
Vaughan.
yeah, same era as Vaughan. And a lot of people say the reason Stuart McGill didn't become a thing is because, of course, you have the king
Shane Warne,
himself.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Rohan, right. Can I talk about this?
What is it? Oh,
Is
nice,
releasing
nice.
Harshit Rana from the squad a mistake? You can talk about this. We had a whole conversation.
Cool. So, okay, so here's, I think I'll let you talk about your theory and I'll give my 2 cents on it, which is that this is, it's so subjective, right? It's the same thing as us saying if Kuldeep plays, he will do better. There's no guarantee of that. Track record says yes, he might. It's a similar case for Harshit Rana, right? Here's the thing. As soon as he was initially picked and Kamboj was released, the entire internet wanted Kamboj back in the squad.
True.
Now that Kamboj is back in the squad, you see the issue possibly, and as to why he even might have been released, you never
Yeah.
know, is the simple fact that he's not hitting the pace, something that Harshit Rana would have done, and something that in Manchester we could have used because a hit the deck bowler would have been nice. But
Yeah.
that's the thing, right? When it's always going to be the case where when one player is picked and he doesn't perform well, you are going to talk about the person who wasn't picked. But if you look at Harshit Rana's record, he hasn't done anything crazy in the test matches he got. In fact, even when he bowled versus the
bottom.
England Lions,
Yeah.
it
Oh,
was a
yeah.
it was
Horrible.
yeah, it was horrible. Sorry to not mince our words, but it straight up was bad. Like he wasn't hitting the right lines, right lengths, and yeah, like with raw pace, you have to be 150 clicks, then it makes sense. You can't be 140 raw pace and expect things to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my take.
I have a theory on why they. So yesterday, someone asked, didn't they realize looking at Anshul Kamboj in the nest that he has no pace? I have a theory. I think the team management just did this to tell people that they know what they're doing. So, like Praatibh said, Harshit Rana was picked, and a lot of people question why him and not Anshul. And then Harshit Rana was released, Anshul Kamboj sent back, and then while the time of selection, Anshul Kamboj was picked, a lot of people were happy, and now he's in the squad, and then people are questioning he doesn't have pace, whereas Rana does have pace. So, my theory is that the team picked Anshul Kamboj just to show to the world, hey, listen, like we saw this, we sent him back. You guys had a problem. We picked him again, and now you guys have a problem with that. So we can never make you happy. And so we did see what we wanted to see, which is why we picked Rana. I'm not saying Rana is the only fast bowler in the domestic circuit who bowls quick. I don't think Rana should have been selected to begin with. I think there are other fast bowlers who bowl very, very quick who could possibly be selected. But I think this is my theory. Just to show to the world, listen, you guys weren't happy with this. We did this now. You guys aren't happy with this either. What do you want us to do?
Bring back Mukesh Magra. That's what we need.
Yeah, I mean, even Mukesh Kumar,
Yeah.
again, people forget he was dropped for Akashdeep in the England series at home because Mukesh Kumar had nothing going for him in that England series at home. But he did pick up wickets in the Lip Trophy. He did pick up a 5-4, if I'm not
He
wrong,
bowled well.
against the England
It's
Lions.
not that he didn't bowl
Yeah.
well at all. That's definitely not the case. And in fact, I honestly forgot about Mukesh Kumar till like right now.
Yeah.
Might be an interesting option if these guys, if one of them are going to get injured.
True. In fact, Nair is the one who has shown more results. Oh, yeah, a lot of people have talked about Abhishek Nair and stuff. For the same exact reason, expect Kuldeep to be picked next test to justify all the fans' egos and proving them wrong. The difference is Kuldeep Yadav has a record of doing well. Like Anshul Kambo's debutant, Harshit Rana doesn't. Mukesh Kumar has played for the Indian team.
Yeah.
I think Kuldeep Yadav should be picked consistently in the playing 11 because he's done well, not just in the white ball format, but in the red ball format whenever he's given a chance.
And also against this very opposition, obviously in conditions that were more aiding, but in the manner in which the climate has been this time around in UK, you would expect him to have done well at least in those first 3 test matches.
That's true. You're going to say US, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I realize. There is there's a chat about the bowling coach. So not Arvind, uh, Roy Chowdhury says, the thing is, we don't have a good bowling coach. Have you seen the press conference by Mone Mocker? Reporter asked him about Anshul Kambos. He replied he doesn't know why the speed dropped. Yeah, which I thought was a very poor answer. I thought that
Yeah.
was one of the poorest of press conferences that I've seen.
I think he also spoke about how it was Gill's decision to just ball seam for whatever 60 odd
Yeah.
overs and not bring Washi in, which is very surprising because even if as a team unit, like as a management person, you can send out a message. You can send it out literally every 2 overs. If you want to send out something, you can. And so
Exactly,
that's
yeah.
a
Which
little
is
bit
what I
of
don't get.
and that's very interesting because definitely shows that maybe all is not good in the dressing
Yeah.
room. I don't know.
It's so bizarre. Like, I
It is
thought,
bizarre.
yeah, it was such a poor press conference.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just avoiding, not taking the blame, but taking responsibility. And I don't think he should take complete responsibility, but I think there should be some form of accountability taken. Like, someone should take it. You were talking about we should let Ben Stokes declare. Arey, we shouldn't. I'm talking about he might just declare rather than getting them out to elongate the game. And I completely agree why Kohli Shastri could not do the same in the WTC 2021. I don't-
We'll have to go back to that scorecard,
yeah.
but I'm confused. Like, how we meant it is if there's rain forecast around and
This was in terms of England's perspective.
yeah, correct. I mean, that's what. If there was rain forecast around, which there is, it's raining right now, possibly. And that'll mean that there are just reduced number of sessions. And so if England want to force a result out of this, they are enough runs ahead to try and bowl India out.
Yeah, that's true. If rain doesn't disrupt play on fifth day, is there a possibility for final session to be extended at England's request to affect the result? Say India 6 or 7 down. No, so on the fifth day you have to bowl 90 overs.
Yeah.
You can't bowl more or less. It's just 90 overs flat. Right. Only EA Sports. Cricket 07 gameplay can save us. Damn.
EA.
How many of y'all did play Cricket 07? Is my question. How many of y'all finished the Ashes chapter? Is what I want to know more importantly.
I did. That's how I learned about the Ashes.
Same. That's how I learned about the two. Yeah, that's how I learned about Ashes being a thing.
Yeah.
The whole animation of the. Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
We need to go all out, give 1,000 runs, and give a little time to. You said this yesterday also. Good lord. Siraj is bowling too many off breaks. Someone should tell him to stop spamming it. Really?
Off breaks? I mean, like off cutters? Or
I did
is
not
he
see
bowling
an
just
off
like
cut.
wobble seam / scramble seam deliveries?
Damn, Tanuj, you still do. Good on you.
Respect.
Is the team confident about Washington Sundar's batting or bowling? Can't have 3 bowling all rounders and expect to win.
I think Washi has shown enough in terms of his batting as well as bowling to be just picked. Now, how the team want to use him will come down to the management and the strategies and all, but it does seem like he is going to have an identity crisis if they keep using him in the manner in which they did.
This is another interesting question. I might sound. By the way, today you guys are on top form. I'll tell you that much. Your questions, your opinions, brilliant. I might sound a bit harsh, but why are our fast bowlers not attacking Ben Stokes and giving him body blows?
Siraj did.
Yeah, I think it's because Ben Stokes is also a good player of the pull shot.
Yeah. I think, especially now with the kind of bowling that we have in terms of injury and how long they've balled already. Yesterday, the short ball ploy was never going to work because they started after tea, after all of the bowlers were already exhausted.
True.
It'll be interesting to see if they do something like that today. I do think they've tried to attack Stokes, but I mean, it's not worked because they've basically batted him back into form.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All your bonding over playing EA on your consoles. I never had a console. I played Real Cricket 16 on a Redmi. Dude, we played EA Sports on our computers in our window
Windows XP
XP. Yeah.
95
Yeah.
good, but
Console.
yeah,
But where is Shrikant, my man? Oh, yeah, that's true. Where is
he
Shrikant?
was here, and I think I saw him initially type something like, "I'm not going to watch the test match
Uh,
today."
what do you think India's batting strategy should be? Say England make 590, 600 in next 15. Jesus. Oh, yeah,
Possibly.
15, 20 overs. Yeah, if
Hmm.
India want to win. I don't think you can have a different strategy.
Can have a.
I don't think. I think India should bat the way they bat.
Oh yeah, India should just. Yeah, if India try to do anything stupid, they're going to lose the match straight away. The best that India can get out of this, honestly, is a draw. Anything beyond that is going to be an outlier, one in a million chance kind of thing.
All right, so cloudy overhead at Old Trafford, fresher conditions, and much less of a batting day than yesterday.
Well.
Does that? It had the rain's cleared. If you guys want. Oh yeah, see the morning rain has cleared, and we should hopefully be good for the rest of the day. Yeah.
Let's see.
You know, it'll be spicy if England declare. I want England to declare just to make it spicy.
Yeah, I don't see them declaring.
You know,
it.
interestingly, I'm not going to say the entire story, but this has happened on a fifth day, South Africa versus England, when Nasser Hussain was the captain. It's in Nasser Hussain's book. And the captain of South Africa back then, and I won't take names, it's fine, asked Nasser Hussain if he wants to declare early so that we can have an exciting match and have the audience and whatever. And so they decided this before the start of day's play. Nasser Hussain declined it, but I think he eventually goes on to declare something about that. And I thought that was very fishy when I read the book.
True.
And then he realized that the match had been fixed. Right. Yeah. Also, in the last PC where should we, oh, press conference where Shardul was being interviewed, he was told beforehand by Gill that he wasn't going to get a lot of overs. If that's the case, then another batsman bowler should be picked in his place. Yeah, I think Shardul is just a
Filler.
fluffer.
Yeah, he's just been used to change and
Yeah.
a
Oh,
bit.
yeah. Yesterday, did he? Oh, yeah, he
But
did. bowl.
he started off yesterday. That
First
one
over.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben Stokes is getting out of hand. Needs Sir Digvesh Rathi. Very nice. All right, we'll take one last question and then get away. If the ball was keeping so low from the Anderson end, why didn't bowlers try bowling a Yorker and full middle stump balls rather than leg stump half volleys? Why didn't Crap Thakur do it?
See, leg stump half volleys. So here's the thing, right? Even if you were to make use of that low bounce, you would want to ball it somewhere around the length where the batter doesn't know whether to go forward or back. Because if a batter is going back in that case and the ball stays low, he'll kind of scoot through and get the wicket. So bowling full and Yorkers won't work. As to why we ball leg side half volleys, I have no answer.
What a time for Praatib's camera. Oh, wow. He just stops like that.
Damn.
All right, so that's been a pre-match. A lot to look forward to, a lot to think about. I want England to declare. I don't want to see them come out to bat just because it'll be spicy, but they'll probably come out to bat. They'll bat out the Indian team.
They'll if they don't lose wickets, they're grinding India to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they do want to win, it'll be interesting to see when they declare a lead of 250 maybe. If they get to
Seems
that
good
much.
enough, honestly.
Yeah. Will a 30-35 over partnership from the openers be necessary or play as they are playing right now? Play as the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, just bat long, bat how you've been batting the entire series. I don't think India have done much wrong with the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for a couple of collapses at the start.
Which is quite shocking because a lot of us expected otherwise. All right, so this has been a live. We will come back at 11:30 p.m. Talk about hopefully 11:30 p.m.
11:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Unless there is, unless the match.
A mad
Ends.
collapse where the Indians just I don't know, just
I
give the wickets
I don't
away.
see it happening.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but let's see.
All right, if England declares, then I will watch the match. Else, watch the post match from you guys. Shailesh, great. We will come back at 11:30. Discuss how the day has gone on and what are the chances for India to salvage this match after the end of day's play. That is,
Uh,
thank you guys so much for watching. This has been most of our viewers on a pre-match, so
hmm.
lovely to see that on a Saturday afternoon. Have a good Saturday. Watch the match. Have fun. Take care of yourselves. We will be back tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.